Yeah.
It's time to take a stand, bringing the truth to a fucked up land. We've had enough of the lies and deceit. We're done for good with the toxicity. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. All hail thanks, we are the Rabyd Nation. We are the Rabyd Nation.
And a hearty shout out to all of you in the Rabyd Nation. Welcome, one and all, to all of you. Whether you're a tourist who's just subscribed, whether you're a citizen who's paid for your citizenship, or whether you're just looking across the border and wondering whether to hit that like button, which you should do. Welcome, one and all, to the Rabyd Nation. Welcome to the Rabyd Atheist. I'm your host, Ed Rabyd, a former pastor turned atheist, now a compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Today, we're going to ask a Deconversion Hangout question. What in the world, is there such a thing as atheist spirituality? And I'm going to give you my reasons for asking that question in a little bit. But, before we get to all that, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Just a reminder, there is a goal in chat. Keep the streaming alive ad-free by submitting and helping with the goal. As long as I get enough money from the super chats, I will keep the ads off during the stream. I kind of do that, and then I'll do it afterwards. But I'll tell you the impetus for this question, because it's come from a couple of us sources, and it is a deconversion question. I even did a series a while ago called Are the Spiritual Disciplines Still Valid for the Atheist? And I talked about meditation, prayer, and study, and all the other spiritual disciplines that tend to be in Christianity, based off of Richard Foster's book, Celebration of Discipline, and asked the question if they were still valid for the atheist. So I've tackled this topic before. Also, let's see, any other announcements before I get going? Oh, yes, the Discord link is up at the top of the chat. I also, I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, we'll link you to the Discord if you're into that sort of thing. Earl's put together a pretty decent Discord channel, and I've been hanging out over there. So the Fluffle of Fangs, the religion, has its own Discord channel, and we have a couple Discord channels linked to this channel. So pick your poison. But this is the one where me and Earl are the benevolent cult leaders, and we will help you out. All right. Is there such a thing as atheist spirituality? Well, Earl sent me this little clip that I'm probably going to show you in a minute. The person in the clip is the wife of Drew from Genetically Modified Skeptic, Taylor, and she did a little thing about the Satanist church. And different aspects of Satanism. That kind of got me thinking about, okay, where do we draw the line as an atheist when it comes to religion and stuff like that? So there was that. And then yesterday, I think I put this link in the chat earlier, Alex O'Connor had Sam Harris on talking about spirituality for atheists, talking about meditation. And so I'm asking the question today, is there such a thing as atheist spirituality? And having been a guy, somebody mentioned in chat, oh, wait a minute. You know what I should do? I should get a roll call, because I should know who's here. And I should see some of the comments again, because you guys are always commenting. Let's see, Blossom is here asking the very question I'm asking. Cranky is here. Who else is here? Nathan is here. John from Holland is here. Rimmer is here. The mighty Philbert is here. Bren is here. Wolf is here. Good to see you, Wolf. Fred is here. All right. Outstanding. A couple Australians in the chat today. The land down under is well represented. There is an atheist church, actually. There's actually several secular gathering spots, especially if you're in a big city. You can usually find one. That's actually a part of the topic. But yes, so between this little clip that Earl sent me about Taylor Drew from Genetically Modified Skeptic's wife talking about Satanism, and I've got Alex O'Connor interviewing Sam Harris talking about spirituality for atheists and all that jazz. I've been asking the question, is there, what exactly are we talking about if we say there's an atheist spirituality, and what exactly is it, and is it of any benefit? As a person who spent 2 years as an atheist, but also trying to do the job of a Christian pastor, I dealt with a lot of spirituality questions from my congregants at the time, although they didn't know I was an atheist, that caused me a lot of different kinds of viewpoints, because I still on occasion meditate, but I don't do it for any kind of spiritual reasons anymore. Like, that could be, I do it mostly to calm myself down when I feel like my anxiety levels have gotten too high. I can do it when I'm depressed. There are some aspects of study that I think are spiritual, I suppose, if you want to put them in that context, where I enjoy like researching and learning new things. Is that spiritual? My contention has always been what religion has done is there are things that human beings do that they then take and label as spiritual, like appreciation of art or music or whatever. Like, some of you have worked in music in the church, know what I'm talking about. They take what the world is doing and they bring it in because it has a quote unquote spiritual effect on a person. And then they repackage it, relabel it as something else. And that's when you end up with that. I don't know. Cranky, how do you get an atheist deity to be spiritual? Like, I don't pray to fangs. It's a waste of time. So, but thank you anyway, Cranky. I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't. I think Fred kind of answered my question for me, but like, no, I don't view those things as spiritual anymore, because to me, spirituality just has this superstitious connotation. Like, there's always seems to be a woo factor with it that I just don't appreciate whatsoever. So, yeah, I think so. I like with meditation, like somebody probably just settled down one day, some caveman somewhere, just settled on and just relaxed and took a deep breath and just cleared their head. And that was really beneficial. I have a new perspective on life. And then all of a sudden the shaman in the group sees that and like grabs it and says, yeah, that's you being in communion with our God. I mean, we take the good human thing that other people call spirituality. It's just psychology, just being human. Like, it's just a symptom of being human, so to speak, Shinedown reference. But it's like, we take the human thing and then we endow it with all these claims of, woo and supernaturalism and superstition. And we take something that some human being did and just make it into something else. But yes, it's like, yes, it's, I think that's kind of what has happened to me. I just think religion steals a lot of human experience and then labels it as God or gods or spiritual or superstition in some side. So into your reality. Yeah, there you go. I'm still damned to hell and deserved it. Okay, there. That's probably Fred. Answer your question is no. Okay. Because I'm confused. Okay, because one of the issues for me as an anti-theist, and I'm still very much of the opinion that the new atheists had the right idea. Like I still think Christopher Hitchens was correct that our world would be better off without the religions and the superstitious nonsense. Okay. And because of that, I'm very resistant to the idea of any kind of atheist woo, like any kind of atheist woo. Um, I think there seems to be a desire in some atheists to have the woo. Like, how do you get a secular woo? Like, how do you do that? How do you create something to do that? How do you get that? Like, there seems to be this of late, like these younger atheists are like, I feel like I'm still missing somebody, so I'm going to embrace some sort of spirituality or something. And then you have Sam Harris kind of coming along and doing the same thing, and he's an older atheist. And it's like, Sam, you do realize that you're opening up a whole Pandora's box of bullshit here, right? It's like, and I'm trying to listen to him yesterday at work, listen to the video him and Alex presented, and I got halfway through and I couldn't finish it because it's like, it's all woo by a different name. And it's just, it's one thing to be introspective in meditation. Like Rammer points out that meditation can be very introspective, where you're just being introspective or you're just trying to calm yourself down, to somehow thinking that there's some greater spiritual context that you can achieve. Okay, with that. Like, I don't feel like I'm better because I meditate compared to somebody who doesn't need to or doesn't want to. Like, I don't get the woo. Spirit was feeling, knowing I was an atheist. I substituted the word mood and answered appropriately. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, as secular gathering, that would mean people. I get it. Australia doesn't like it. When Harris used to talk about spirituality, they brought up things like awe of nature, the clouds on the rain stuff, which has nothing to do with spirits. Yeah, and I get that. Like, I get the human experience can be, quote unquote, if you want to call it spiritual, I guess. I don't know I would call it that. I call it just, having the human experience. Like, human beings experience things and they can be very awe-inspiring. I don't know how, like, you don't stand next to, like, Niagara Falls and not feel a little bit small. Like, like there's something, like I've been there a couple of times and it's like, when you're hearing all that water rush over the edge of the cliff, it's kind of like there's an understanding of yourself as a human being that you get that I don't think has anything to do with gods or spirituality or any of that stuff, right? But you can have this awe of nature and you can have the awe of the world and you can have human awe about human experiences. Like, I go, if you go to a concert, we were talking about concerts yesterday. If you go to a concert, you get the same kind of spiritual experience that I used to get at worship services in the Pentecostal church. Like, you can have the same kind of emotional, hey, I'm with all these other humans, I'm feeling really good. There's a high, an endorphin rush and all of that doesn't have a damn thing to do with whether there's a God or spirits or any of that stuff. And so, yeah. Actual proof of anything spiritual needs. Yes, and that's my contention, Brent. My largest problem with this is, and I think Sam Harrison, the part that I did listen to, even acknowledged this pretty well. He says, yeah, because we're going into the realm of unfalsifiability. Like, he says, at that point, like, there's certain things I'm saying here that a Buddhist would say, or maybe a Hindu who practice medicine might say, that's in the realm of, like, unfalsifiability, unproven claims. And And so he's like, how do we, I know what he was trying to do. He's like there's a barrier here that a secularist shouldn't cross. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I get it. There needs to be some proof. So some of us have worked with secular music too. Yes. Hey, Martin. I'd say spiritually is the recognition of greater sense, not a power ability to sense the whole, as Marcus Aurelius could be considered. Yeah, I mean, there's moments you have in your human experience where uh, you sense something greater than yourself, and I can get that, but that doesn't necessarily imply superstition or religion. It can just be understand that you're a small little piece in the universe. So yes, it's possible now that I get spirituality, but the atheist versions as well. There are atheist religions as well. Yeah, you could technically say that some forms of Buddhism are atheistic because they don't have a personal God, but they do have a spiritual understanding of the universe. So don't eat bats for sake. Drinking whiskey can be a spiritual experience. Yeah, there's some animism that I would consider atheism too, like the universe is God. There's no personal God, but the universe is God. So if there was an afterlife, it's probably nothing to do any religion has come with. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I get what you're saying. Yeah, like if there is something beyond death, none of us have come up with it, very likely. Uh, yeah, I mean, there is an atheist church. When I was in Houston, there was a secular gathering that met. It was just too far away for me to drive to it. But there was like two secular gathering churches inside of Houston. But yeah, and there is an atheist church, as I recall, several of them, secular communities. Yeah, and yeah, like I'm down with that rumor. I'm like one of those guys that can sit in an electric storm and I feel something, but I now recognize that that's my own experience of the world, and I don't need to put some superstitious woo with it. Like I don't have to do that. So slowly I turn. Uh, uh, Spiritual is valid in one sense only as a musical genre. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you could consider spirituality as type of an emotion. I can see that. Like, I, if you're talking about your emotions and how you feel about something, how you think about it, how you're perceiving it emotionally, yeah, I can see where spirituality might be a proper term there. I just don't know if it's a good term because I think the term spirituality kind of has a for us non-believers it kind of has a dirty connotation. So I'm torn because the atheists really struggle with community and forming a religion can help with that. But when you think it through, the genie can't be put in the bottle due to the lack of evidence. Yes, and that's I think the issue with secular communities is and why they have so much trouble is that religion has one advantage in the fact that you have the commonality of the myth, and atheist communities just don't have any mythology to be common about. Like I think I've told people you might have better luck joining a club that plays games or does knitting and whatever. You'd be better off finding like other activities to have a community with that you can rally around. There's the thing with religion is there's always this common thing that everybody rallies around, whether it's the belief in the God or the spiritual ideas or whatever. There's that's why they do community better is because they have this thing that everybody rallies around. So this discussion messes with my mind, trying to shut up as much as I can. Being superstitious is bad luck. Hey, Sam. I get the awe immensity of the universe, but surely there's a better, more accurate word for that than spirituality. And that's kind of what I'm searching for. Like there's a word for it, okay, that I don't have to bring in all the spiritual woo stuff, but I can talk about this thing that grips me. Like I still take the occasional hike, and when I'm out in the woods, there are moments that are just really, really good. Like, and I feel something. I wouldn't call it spiritual anymore, but there's a whole sense of something, greater than myself. Maybe like there's a whole universe out here that I'm sensing that I'm interrelated with in some way, and maybe I'm sensing some of that. And I just think that's perfectly human and perfectly normal. Like but I wouldn't label it as spirituality anymore. Like, I don't think that that's what that is. I don't think that spirituality can exist, but atheists can be a part of a group that has a worldview. American humanists, yeah, you can do that. Not everybody agrees with the humanists, though. Like, I know some atheists that aren't humanists. They think humans are probably the last last place to look for salvation. But yes, I don't believe spirituality exists as all. It's a natural thing that can be interpreted as spiritual. Yes, and I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I think there's something there that's a human experience, but I wouldn't label it as spirituality anymore. Like it's not. That's not what it is. Yeah, prove it's anything at first. Yeah. Every time people try to explain spirituality, it ends up being similar to emotions that I've had, if not identical. Yeah, I would buy that. Are we really just looking at human psychology here at this point and trying to figure that out? That might be very valid. Yeah, I mean, we have fangs. Like this community is rallied around fangs. Like, I mean, how could you not? I mean, I always have this one ready now. It is just the cutest picture ever. So, but yes, but yeah, like, but you notice that though, Phil, with atheist community, there's usually something that rallies them. Like the people that watch The Skeptic, like Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe is like central to watching The Skeptic. Like there's always this, are we incurably, as human beings, we love the stories of myth because they inspire us, and so we can just grab any myth that works. Like, is that our thing as human beings? Like we need something that grounds our human experience in some way, because to me, I don't know that I'm spiritual anymore because I reject the superstitious religious connotations of that word. But at the same time, I can create this mythological deity that allows this community to rally around something. Like you're making a jest, but at the same time, let's be real here. Some of you are here for fangs. You're here for fangs' sake. But this kind of it illustrates my point. Like, are we as human beings just incurably trying to explain this human condition phenomena that we have, and then we tend to call that religion or spirituality or superstition or whatever it is? And do atheists still have that? Because this is a deconversion issue. Like, there's a lot of things that my religion used to fill in my life, and now it's not there anymore. What fills those things now? Now, do we need it? Becomes another good question. Like, I think the thing with fangs is I also illustrate, with the last commandment, do these commandments or don't. Fangs doesn't care. It's the whole point is like you're still searching yourself. You're still trying to find your way yourself. So, hey, Felicia, work has been killing you. Oh, well, welcome. Yeah, and I think that's your point, but it's like, do we as human beings need a common thing to hinge our communities on? And I think we do. Like we're inherently communal. Like we always find reasons to be communal. Secular reasons tend to be a little bit more difficult. So religion has that. What the hell is Fangs? Yes, Fangs is satire. Yes, he is. And he loves being satire. Kind of his point. Is having a crush not like a spiritual experience? I'm asking somebody who doesn't understand spirituality but has had crush. I think so. I don't know, maybe the mighty Philbert can relate, but I remember in the Assemblies of God when I used to hear women talk about Jesus, I'm like, are you dating the guy or is he your like people's idea of Jesus Christ in the Christian church is very interesting. Like to men, Jesus is like my bro. Like he's always my perfect bro. So he's like always the man crush that you have, but the women were always talking about Jesus like, is this your other partner? Is this is this the other guy you sleep with? I mean, like there's this the way they talk about it, I don't think they realize that they do it. But yeah, there's a lot of truth to the romance idea of serving a deity, particularly Jesus. I've always found that very fascinating too. It's sad Christians think they know everything. Every time I have a conversation with a Christian, it's I know I'm right and you're wrong, and you can't win a debate with them. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't debate with them, honestly, Nathan. Just don't do it. I've gotten to the point where it's like, give me some evidence, or I've got nothing better to do with my time. That's why this stream in particular, like, I have very strict controls on this one. You know, you have to be a subscriber for 20 minutes at least before you can comment, and I do that for reasons to keep the crowd here. You all can know that you can talk about your deconversion experiences, and nobody's going to come along and just be an annoying piece of shit. Like, it's not going to happen. And my mods know that too. Like, they know to pounce on Thursdays. So keep that. So leave the spirituality, take the cannoli. All right, extra points for the Godfather reference. So there you go. How can it be satirical without being spiritual? Without that core truth, it's just mockery. Yes, yeah, I agree. Like, this is why we do Fangs. It's satire. Like, it's satire. It's perfect satire too, in my opinion. Just a familiar concept that people like to shoehorn themselves into because it seems deep. Yeah. I can buy that. Yes, the flying spaghetti monster. It used to be atheist satire across our Fangs, Doug, Sparky. Yes, we have a whole mythology here. I've had that question asked: where does Fangs fit in all this? The only thing we know for sure is Fangs is very likely the offspring of Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe and another unnamed god at a party barn somewhere, where the gods were having a party. So. Yeah. The Fluffalo is technically, I suppose, a spiritual gathering. I don't know. It's the Fluffalo is a group of people that kind of hang out together with this little Fangs character as their central idea, and we kind of, support each other. I mean, if I could put out a shout out to the Discord so far, it's been very much a supportive thing, and I hope that it stays that way. Like, it's a way for us to be human with each other. If you're part of that, so far it's been pretty good. Like, it's, Earl's doing a pretty good job moderating that, and the Fluffalo Fangs Discord has been good because it's just like we're trying to keep a community together, but I don't know that it's a spiritual thing. It's a human thing. And I don't know why people have to exalt it beyond humanity. I think that's probably my concern, but. A religion having something to rally around made me realize something. This is why theists think that we rally around Darwin in the same way, because of its natural. Yes, and that's why they do that. Like, the assumption of a lot of theists is that atheists are like us. Like we have our prophets. Like they'll bring in, Hitchens, Dawkins, the Four Horsemen, and say, you guys just worship these guys and follow them. Like, I disagree with some of them. In fact, I think in some way I disagree with all the Four Horsemen of the former New Atheist movement, but it's not that way. Like, I just don't have prophets. I'm not worshiping at the altar of evolution, like, or the Big Bang. I just move along to a different thing. The concept of not having something central to rally around, I think, is foreign concept to a lot of people. So it's just a natural human thing. Gay Jesus for the win. I'm just annoying, not a piece of shit. There you go. There you go. That's all, believe it or not. And all that time, I've never ever seen or felt anything that ever began to make me think supernatural. Okay. Evidence suggests existence, that is. I still haven't been able to suss what a Discord is. Okay, that's fair. No, it's not for everybody, but like I've been very pleased with the startup so far. The Flufflefangs Discord is very along the lines of a cult, I suppose, but like the cult leaders don't care what you do in your life, and we're not asking for money. so there you go. Well, I am, I guess. So I'm making the go around. All right. Thank you very much. That's two. The Newsboy hat is winning today. By the way, this is the last week for the Heart Bucket hat. And tomorrow will be the last one for that too. So there you go. Yeah. If theists could understand what kind of authoritative mindset many damage and encourage, and then they project. Yes, there's always this idea of authority in human beings. Like we have to have these authorities that tell us what to do. And so when you move into the realm of, I don't believe in any godlike authority, they assume that you must have something else. And they can't conceive of a person just living autonomously inside of a society. They don't know how to conceive that. Like they need somebody to tell them what to do. Like, and I think that's part of the problem. Like we're at a point in human evolution where some people are beginning to realize they don't need that. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do to be a good person. Like, and so they still cling to the spirituality. And I think that's kind of interesting. So, but yes, you worship brains and Cranky eats them. So there we go. There you go. There seems to be a hierarchy there, Martin. That's all I'm saying. A discord is a combination of musical tones sounded together. It also could mean that you're removing the chord. You're discording. It has multiple meanings. I can't. Actually, I have it queued up. I am going to play it. Because this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because what's going on here? I need some information, because when Earl sent me the clip, it's not very long. It's like 5 things about Satanism. And I don't know, here, let me just pull it up, and then I'm going to pause it. We'll take it back to the beginning. But this kind of led me to the idea of what is going on here, okay, with atheists and non-believers in spirituality. So here we go.
All right, so these are my 5 hot takes as an online Satanist, and this video was actually inspired by my friend Promise over at Eve Was Framed. She actually did this type of video, but as an atheist. Number 1, true Satanists aren't just those who follow the teachings of Anton LaVey. 2, Satanism as an umbrella term encompasses atheistic, non-theistic, and theistic perspectives, and real Satanists aren't just those who are atheists, and being a Satanist doesn't just mean that you're like an edgy atheist who wants to like piss off religious folks. Number 3, if you're an atheistic or non-theistic Satanist, it is not an insult to be confused for a theistic Satanist. Theistic Satanism is just as valid a spiritual path, and it's not like cringy or weird to believe in Satan as a deity. And number 4, as Promise mentioned in her video, progressive Christians often make better allies to Satanists than atheists or even other Satanists do. And number 5, this is probably the most controversial take, and it's probably gonna make some of the Satanists in my audience upset, but you can be a Christian and a Satanist at the same time. I think that you can be inspired by the teachings of Jesus and be inspired by the symbol of Lucifer as a rebel. And Satanism, it doesn't require you to be anti-Christianity.
All right. So I may go over this more. I may go over that more in detail, but this kind of inspired my thoughts about because the Church of Satan has always been to me like this atheistic group that plays games in order to be shocky or edgy or whatever. And that's why I've never joined it. Like, it has too many religious connotations, and it's like, but she's kind of indicating that you can be spiritual and be an atheist. You can be like, Christianity and Satanism don't have any problems with each other. I just found the video from a certain standpoint really weird. Now, I don't know what her beliefs are. I know Drew is he's very atheistic. Like, he just doesn't believe in anything. And I don't know what Taylor's views on spirituality is. She might have a very different take. But my issue is, what the hell? Like, why are we talking about this as if this is, like, as somebody who's a secularist, why am I talking about Satanism as if it's a valid theistic view? Like, why am I doing that? So I don't know. I'm sorry about that, Alicia. Well, yeah, when Earl sent me this, I listened to it twice, and I'm like, what the hell? What is going on here? Because why should I give theistic Satanism any more credence than Yahweh God? Like, why should I even give Satanism any kind of credence if it's theistic Satanism? You lost some respect on Taylor on that one. Yeah, I kind of did too, Cranky. I'm flabbergasted because it's, to me, since leaving the faith, I can see bullshit spirituality a mile away now. Like, once you've been fooled and you get out of it, like, we won't be fooled again. Like, cue the Who, you know, like, I'm not going to be fooled again. And I'm kind of like really weirded out about that. Like, you can be a Satanist and a Christian at the same time. I just don't. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I think not this Friday, but next Friday, I'm going to take that apart in detail. I may grab that one and another one I saw that's a short and kind of tear them apart, because I'm like, she makes 5 points and I'm like, why the hell is somebody who has escaped from religion and knows the same tactics and religious bullshit that are used there, why would you suddenly accept some other form of woo, which is still backed up by the same stuff? Oh, don't get me wrong. If you're a theistic Satanist, I think that, yeah, you're more honest. At least you're being a Satanist in truth. I think atheistic Satanism is like, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's why I've never joined the Satanist church, because I know that's kind of like what people do, but no, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what she was going for there either, but yeah, I mean, come on, Phil, sex sells. That's why we try. I want you to think about it sometime, Mr. Philbert. how many times did the Christian church try to sneak in sexuality to sell Christianity? Like, or is the whole modesty, purity culture kind of that? Like, is that the way that Christianity uses sex to sell? Because I'm going to tell you something, sex sells, like, and I don't care who it is. Um, and so I'm wondering how we, like, in the Pentecostal church, I think we did it through a lot of different means. Like, sex still sells, like it, and sensuality and stuff was brought into the church. It's just done in a very covert way as to not be overt. But yeah, I want you. I've been thinking about that, but I'm interested to hear somebody else's opinion. And thanks, Fred. I wish wishful thinking human data we want something more than we observe, but wanting it is relevant to existing. Yes, and that's a very valid view. So I don't know. I am. Yeah, Kyle. I don't know that it offers anything. Like Taylor's video there is just, I'm like, what? I just not really. It only if it's satanic cleavage. Okay, there we go. Oh, see you later, Martin. Appreciate you being here, man. Yeah. Lesser lie, any really less than a lie than a greater lie. I don't know. But yeah, what does Satanism have to offer? I understand a lot of life is a spectrum that options and views are complex and nuanced, but I just don't see how there is an in-between of a theist and an atheist. Yes, I agree with you. Like, this is why I'm an anti-theist. I just don't. My problem, like Taylor's video is a good example. My problem with the whole concept of the video, and I see what she's trying to do. She's like trying to correct, quote unquote, misapprehensions about Satanism, but it's like, at the same time, why are we even engaging this when we know the bullshit of what we came out of? Like Drew and Taylor came out of some pretty bullshit stuff. And to not be able to see that it's still there, like what are some atheists hoping for here? Like, why do I need, it feels like there's this unconscious need for some sort of quote unquote spirituality and atheism. And I don't know, I'm doing fine, just fine without it. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I'm just, excuse me, but I'm just being honest here. Since I've taken that out of my life, I have more money, time, and energy to focus on other things. I don't need it. Okay. The one thing I've learned about spirituality and religion, having it exit from my life, is why did I need that again? Like I'm really struggling with why so many atheists somehow have this need to talk about spirituality inside secularism, because I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need the stuff. I really don't. And I don't get that part. And so, I'm watching yesterday, Alex O'Connor talks with Sam Harris about meditation and spirituality for atheists. I've got Taylor here talking about the spirituality, be like, you can be an atheistic Satanist and a theistic Satanist, and it's all good. Like, no, there's two very different viewpoints there. Like, okay. And I don't get why people think they need the spiritual superstition part. Is it so ingrained in us, evolutionarily speaking, or in our society, that somehow we have to have some of this to have social glue for the society? What is it that we think that we need to have this? Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How does purity culture sell with sex? Because you're still talking about sexuality in the context of the church. There's also, you're using sex as a moral high bar to achieve. Like, you're better than everybody else because you kept your purity culture ring and saved yourself for your wedding night. And you're selling sex in the sense you're selling abstinence. Okay. And people cling to that, like, oh yes, this is much higher morality. So you can still do it. But I also know that by allowing the discussion about it in a youth group, there's a pretty good chance that because you've done that, within a month or two, one of the girls is going to end up pregnant. Okay, like there's ways of doing it, like without. It's interesting, like women in church and men in church, when they dress up for church, they're still putting their best foot forward, and they're still being like attractive to each other. I saw it all the time. But yeah, like you can be hyper spiritual. And I've said it before, like you get those endorphin rushes from your Pentecostal worship service, for instance. It's the same area of the brain for sex. And so it's an easy switch. Okay. It's an easy switch to do it. So cleavage is vows and anything. Okay, I get that. I was supposed to punish us. Okay. I'm sure a lot of religious families would disagree with her. Like, no, there's no compatibility to that. I heard Paul Stanley from KISS say, nothing so better than sex and Satan. So, of course, they capitalized on it. Yes. And so we have abstinence and Satan inside the church. So is that what sells it? I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with this thing. It's like, I'm sorry, there's a marked difference between a theistic Satanist and an atheistic Satanist. An atheistic Satanist is doing Satan stuff as a symbol, whereas the theistic thing is like accepting Satan as a real entity and a god. And I'm sorry, that's a marked world of difference between the two. And for her to say that, I'm like, are you serious? Like, you can't be serious. Christians are atheists and just don't want to admit it. Excuses seem to think that they're other way around. Probably. I mean, I know that for a fact there's more ministers like me because the Clergy Project is still in business. So, like, we're still in business. One court against schools will have Good News Club, but reject their after school. Yes. And that's Dragon Ride. I think that's probably the best use that this Church of Satan has ever done. And I think that's why a lot of atheists joined it, was to do stuff like this. They did the same thing with, like, the courthouse guy wanted his 10 commandments on some monument out in the yard. And so the Church of Satan said, well, if you get to do it, then we get to do it too. And then there was like a whole string of religious organizations that put their stuff out in the courtyard of the courthouse. And eventually the guy said, yeah, maybe keeping this stuff out of the secular system is a better idea. And in that particular case, yeah, they've made a lot of valid points. I'm just confused as to why an atheistic Satanist who uses the Church of Satan for that purpose should have to, like, lay off the theistic Satanist who actually believes in the devil. Like, why should he have to do that? Satanists actually exist to make Satanism seem more like anti-establishment of religious activism. I don't have a problem with that part. Having a desire for community, and because this is what has been conditioned to think is community, they reshape it with spirituality, maybe even harmlessly or subconsciously. Yeah, it's possible. People need spiritual superstition because we think in terms of objects. We need reasons for objects existing. Without reasons for objects existing, we default to existential dread. That's probably valid. Starve the people and offer them food. Yes. Yeah. Sunday best is pretty hot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, you see a couple walk in and she's wearing her nicest dress and got her hat on and those gloves, and, it's all tapered in just the right way. And then you got the guy in his, full dress suit looking sharp. Like, there's something about that. And don't think there isn't. Okay. Also, when you have like a congregation that is more come as you are, you have to be really careful with that. I remember being in a come as you are church one Sunday morning. This is probably in between churches, and I was moving around churches and just checking things out. I remember there was a couple that came in. They looked like they had just gotten out of bed and literally walked to church. So that was kind of the way it was. Even when they can't even when you can't see with the eyes, they always find a jacket to the ankles. Yes. I don't think there's any inherent reasons or purposes, and that doesn't bother me at all. But I have never believed and was never indoctrinated to expect it either. Yeah, that's probably, I think indoctrination has a lot of stuff to do with it. Prayer is just talking to yourself and putting Jesus in it. So, yes, Christians really are atheists. They just don't believe they are. Yes. I mean, I said that because, like, as a former Christian, Nathan, I got the thing. Every once in a while, there'll be a theist that comes around and tells me I was never saved in the first place. And I'm like, yeah, true. Like, but then I would add the line, but neither are you. Like, you're not saved either because you were never needed to be saved in the first place. Like, that's a made up thing. So, yeah, except there are some Church of Satan people that do believe in the devil. Yeah, they can't. The theistic branch is a lot smaller gathering, but there are a few Satanists that do actually believe in the devil. Jessica Rabbit's Sunday best. There you go. I'm just saying. Yeah, pizza's a spiritual experience. I can buy that. If anything, I hate how the church is a monopoly on this kind of cleanly dressed formal shit. Normalize Sunday best hotties for men and women all week round. Let's go. Okay. I don't know. Sunday best is always a difficult thing because it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So, let's see, Kyle, people who cling to Abrahamic religion despite seeing it for what it is seem to want order in the form of grand design. Yes. I'll tell you a story. I had a guy in my congregation who didn't believe a word of Christianity, but he did believe in a God. He was a deist. And so he came to church just for community and value and all that stuff. And his wife was a Christian, so he just wanted to do something with her. And I don't know, Kyle. I think there's a lot of Christians like that they just do it to go do something on a Sunday. And I think that's becoming more and more common. And it may be what's keeping the church alive in a lot of respects. I don't know what it's like for those of you who are European or in Australia. Is that kind of what's happened? It's like we go to church because it's the thing to do on Sunday. So, but not the Church of Satan or the Satanic Temple. It's another movement. Okay, could be. You're free to be a theist. The Church of Stan? I see what you did there. Yeah, some people can't spell. That's why I don't pick on them because I can't spell either. But yes, I'm finding this interesting all week. Like, this is just two of the things I see. I saw a couple of small time people also post similar things that were like, is there a spirituality to just being human? Is there, and it's like, if you want to label it that, I guess, I just wish there was a way to, I don't see it for myself anymore. I just don't need it. Around 20% of registered church members in Germany don't believe in God. Okay. So it is a cultural thing. Like, I think that's what a lot of it is. Like, I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of church going now, I think that a lot of people in the pew, like, yeah, the jig is kind of up. Like, this is bullshit, but we'll keep doing it because it's a good thing for me to do on a Sunday morning. I'm like, yeah, go home and watch football, go watch soccer, go watch, depending on where you are in the world, go watch something, you'll have just as much of a spiritual experience, I had a woman in the choir who threatened to leave the choir if I didn't get rid of the robe. She said she didn't spend hours getting for church to hide behind a choir robe. Yeah, well, we got to show that shit off, Phil. Like, you got to understand, growing up in the Pentecostal church, Phil, I used to see shit and I'm like, what is that about? Like, and it came down to like, there was a lot of, cheating going on, if I can be blunt. Like, it was a lot of, I'm trying to show off how good I can look and things like that without all the other stuff. Like, I get it. So, absolute morals on tonight's bingo card. No, no. Oh, uh, well, it is the easy excuse to be around people as an adult, and that's powerful. It can be hard to find and keep friends, and for better or worse, the church has had that in their favor. Yes, and I think that's what it's about now. Like, I think, like, we as secularists have hard times finding reasons to stick together and hang out together. Like, it's not a, we don't have the same, I mean, that's why we created FANG, so we'd all have the same imaginary friend. Um, but yes, I think this is why it is. I've long said that a lot of the strength of religion and the church is their sense of the building and keeping a community together, and they're very, very damn good at it. Okay, like it's one of the things I think that keeps the church going. So you go for Christmas, maybe for your kid to church kindergarten, which is open to everybody and state sponsored. You go to a concert or so. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Here, nobody has went to church for the longest time, but now there's this kind of Christian contrarianism movement now. I'm not a Muslim, and those people somehow seem to bother going to church. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get it, Rimmer. Oh my gosh. There's so much in my mind now when I look at church and I look at what I used to do. It's like this was all about something else, and it had nothing to do with Jesus. Like, there's something else going on here in church. And I look back at it, and a lot of it was just, it was something socially to do on a Sunday morning. Like, you go to church, you have the potluck afterwards where you sit down in fellowship, and once a month, and maybe come to the weekday Bible study and the choir practice. Like, it became like my last church. I began to realize so much of it was just social eventizing for these people. Like, you're just doing social events for them, and it's the next whoop-de-doo you're looking for. So therein lies the problem. I think this is what the other part of it is like, people like to be self-righteous, and church, it's socially acceptable to be self-righteous. It's not the only place it's acceptable to be self-righteous, but church is definitely one of the high ones on the list. So, yes, on a grander scale, societies need shared public spaces that aren't commercial to mingle. Yes, I think that's one of the things. Like, you need a place where you can just hang out with humans. Now, I don't always get that as my autistic or introverted self. Like, sometimes, yeah, humans screw them, but could be a Discord. Yes, there you go. Mostly the lack of erosion of a civil society that makes church attractive. I think that there's a validity to that now. I really do. Like, I am very much into the understanding that how much of church was about that. Like, I have RTS. Like, I don't even like going near church buildings, and I live right next to one. And so when I go to work, I have to walk by this thing. And at least this time of year, because of the snow plowing. But other times it's like, I realize that the social aspect of church that is always there also has a downside. Like, stuff that happens inside the church isn't always positive. So, see, it's easier for me to see the community part because I'm from a small town. the business is shut down or the building burns down or whatever, it's rare for anything to replace it. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Like if you, yeah, you bring up a good example. There's no movie here, so I completely understand why people who are less okay with being alone would say, okay, church is my best option. Yes. Like if you have a social gathering point that suddenly burns down or disappears or fails due to lack of interest, church is one of those things that stays steady. So, well, yeah, but it's not socially acceptable here. Like Fangs disapproves of self-righteousness, Fred, although you don't have to care. He's very self-righteous about it being anti-self-righteous. It's another contradiction that we justify. I actually would have kept going to church if they had just said it was a social club. Yeah, but there's just other things to it that trigger my RTS now. Like like I gotta hate certain people, I gotta dislike certain people, I gotta think that I'm special because I believe X, Y, and Z compared to everybody else who believes something else. Like the other parts I can do without. Thanks. Bangs loves me. So there you go. And a public place can just be a park with amenities and various options to sit, eat, barbecue, play. Yes, and I think that's why I see this in like larger communities, can pull this off, Michael, but I'm not sure smaller ones can. Like in the U.S. here, like I'm thinking about my small town that I'm sitting in right now, and I'm thinking there's the places to gather that aren't church related. There's a theater group here that does plays and stuff. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bars that like bars are socially acceptable places to meet and water hole like that. Outside of the church, there just isn't very much. Okay. Like there's community events at the public school that are sponsored, but not everybody uses that. Like there's adult education through the public schools, but that's not very focused anymore as like it used to be. So yeah, it's hard to develop those kind of places where you don't need the church. We have a couple of parks, but when they're underneath, 1.5 feet of snow in the winter, it's kind of hard to use them. Like they're only available for certain times of the year. So yes, and churches do get rebuilt when they burn down, whereas other public gathering spots may not get rebuilt. So there you go. They want to be able to play board games. I'm such a loner, but I honestly, Blossom, that's what I'm struggling with too. Like it's my deconversion struggle. It's like you guys are great because there's a community here that kind of fills that church void that used to be there. There's a lot of things that the Fluffle here does for me now. And the Discord's already been good for that. The Fluffle Fangs. I never thought I'd like that because I've never been a Discord person. But the sense of community, the idea of getting together and talking about things that we have common interest on. Yeah, like that does it. But there's still something that I'm missing as far as actual human interaction. Okay, like sitting down in front of somebody and being there and have to be in each other's presence. I get what you're saying, though. Game store is funnier than church. I go there to play that. Yeah, that's a valid thing. I try to be right. I don't buy bullshit, and I don't spread it either. I like me. Okay, Fangs approves. They're a great outdoor amphitheater, but they shut that down too. Yeah, like in the summer, Blossom, around here, there's more stuff to do. Like we have concerts in the park. Like there's that. There's different events. We have festivals and stuff in the summer. But when you get to wintertime, it sucks because the only places that are like 24/7, 365 every Sunday is churches. So it's like, yeah, AA is religious too. Fang is sandwiched between unstoppable forces and had to split kick. Which one would win? I'm bringing reality deep question, really deep. Fangs would find a way to time travel out of it. like he is fast enough to time travel. So although he's only usually done it when he's drunk, and he's always regretted what's happened afterwards. So, but yes, two unstoppable forces. He probably would do a split kick and then dive out of the way and let them collide into each other. Like that would probably be his answer. Fangs is not interested in force against force. He's, he doesn't like to play fair in a fight. So he likes the odds to very much be in his favor. So a fair fight is not in the cards for him. He wants it to be unfair. So he's very smart about that. He's Rabyd. Like, Fangs just isn't into all that stuff. I still has held trauma by cultural osmosis, so I've never had a church void, but kind of church jealousy and how easy it is to have a shared identity. Yes. And that's, I think, the thing. The shared identity thing is the strongest draw. Yes, I am avoiding the question. Fangs is avoiding the question, and so am I. See? This is how this works. Lies, vibes. We're just going on vibes and lies here. That's what we do. Yeah, it's not a good thing. And when Fangs gets drunk, it's never a good thing. He inadvertently created Christianity by getting drunk one time. So that's one of the mythological points. Like, he got drunk. This is a while ago. He was taking the form of JFK and slept with Marilyn Monroe and produced a child, and then had to take the zygote back in time 2,000 years and gave it to this chick named Mary, and said he was an angel, and and that's why Jesus is white, because he has Marilyn Monroe and Fangs as his parents. So even though Jesus should be, like it's that picture, like something's going on. So, who lives in Vancouver? One thing he really misses is people inviting each other to dinner parties. In CA, they always go out with their friends. Yes. But yes. Oh. Yes, a drunken demigod is indeed somewhat worrying concept. Yeah, Fangs has time traveled a couple of times, and he's always regretted it, and he's always been drunk at the time. So, like, he knows how fast he is. He's capable of doing the Superman thing and going back in time, and doing it in reverse and going forward in time. But he's always been drunk at the time, and he's always regretted it. So, because he's done some pretty weird shit. So, I'm still sober without you. Me too. Although it's deucedly hard to get drunk when you're my size in the first place. And then when you come from a long line of alcoholics on both biological sides of the family, yeah. So I stay away from alcohol because I think it would be very, very dangerous for me. So, and pretend it's going to be super legit and then ask him dumb shit like, what did you eat today? And ask, okay, why aren't you talking to me serious? You can smirk and say, I don't consider you a serious man. Honestly, it's hard to take a guy serious when his research methodology is so shit. It just really is. But I eventually decided the world spinning thing was not worth it, nor was I driving a person in a taxi. Yes. Oh my gosh. Perfect timing. Yes. Perfect timing. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to ask a direct question about Fangs, I'm probably going to just give you vibes and lies, because that's what Fangs would do. Like, Fangs is very much about vibes and lies. So, so it's right up his alley. Oh my goodness. What a great fun night. I always have fun on Deconversion Hangout. I'm just still wondering what atheist spirituality is. Like, is there such a thing? And what is it if it is such a thing? And I don't think it is a thing. I think there's a lot of desire from some atheists to have some sort of spirituality, but I just don't see it. I really don't. I just don't. But there you go. Quickly, you can say Jehovah? Oh, yeah. Yes, there you go. Vibes and lies, and boats and hoes. No, but Fangs is evasive. He's a rabbit. He's evasive about answering questions. He's kind of like Cranky in some regards. Cranky is an elder god though, does answer questions, like, and he does it. The difference between Fangs' vibes is he's cute and zipping around and being evasive, where Cranky is just cranky, and so he's just trying to give him the menacing vibe so you'll leave him alone. But yes, awe, beauty, and nature. They need to think of a better word. Yeah, I kind of like, it's my problem too. Like, if it's not connected to religion, I don't know what spirituality is. Like, spirituality is always one of those words that just sticks with religion to me, and that kind of creates a problem for me for even using the term. Like, it feels like Sam Harris said in his video with Alex O'Connor, it's a dirty word. Like, it feels like a dirty word for an atheist. So it's like, no. There's no afterlife. We're very honest about this. Like, Fangs is a very much live your life to the fullest kind of guy, because this is what you get. Like, there's no afterlife in Fangs. There's just life. So, yeah, that's spirituality. Vibes and lies and spirituality. He's just being honest about it. I'm telling you guys, in certain ways, Fangs is the most honest deity there is. Like he openly tells you several times he doesn't give a shit. Like, and that's the most honest thing that he could probably say. And that most of religion is about vibes and how you feel about it, and that's where Fangs comes in. He tells you all about feelings. Like, it's like this is all about feelings. Yeah, there's an after party, but no afterlife. Yes, like we always try to have an after party sometimes, especially on Fridays. But yeah, like I don't know. I've reached the point with Fangs that I know what he's about. He is satire extreme. I'm trying to be as satirical as I possibly can be about religion and belief with Fangs. I do it all the time with the lore. So, atheist is talking about it. Is that a sermon? It could be. I don't know what a sermon is either anymore. Like, tell me what a sermon is. It's some guy up in front of a religious organization or body telling bullshit. Like, that's what a sermon is. But does it have any substance? Like, I don't know. After 20 years, 30 years actually being a preacher, like not just a pastor, but a preacher. Yeah, I don't see it. So, numinosity. Yeah, Hitchens used to use the numinous reference a lot, talking about that aspect of it. But yes. Yes, they contradict each other as well. All right, folks, I do have to leave, though. I got to get ready for work. But it's been a great night. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to finish up the Apologia video tomorrow, and I want to get to actually Paul's comments on the matter of what would fix Christianity, and I have my own ideas of what would quote unquote fix Christianity. So I do have to run, though. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I want to thank Cranky and Martin and Fred. Thanks for the donations. Appreciate you guys. Keeps me streaming, keeps me going. Hopefully we'll have even more and more content soon. Thank you very, very much for that, guys. Appreciate all of you. As always, let Fangs, though, the non-existent atheistic deity, nibble on all of your hearts. May he purify your vegetables from religious corruption with his pointy teeth. Make sure you leave a circumcised carrot out for Fangs on your stash. And you might take the carrot instead of the stash. It's a might, not a guarantee. You might take both. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you let Fangs look at him with those big black eyes of his and make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, because that's what he's all about. He's all about lies and vibes. So there you go. Appreciate all of you, nom nom and all that. As always, folks, live your best life. You only get one go around and then it's over. So you want to take all your time, your money, your opportunities, and give them to yourself, the people you love and care for, and to make this a better world. You'll be happier if you do. And don't waste them on the trappings of religion and faith and all that, because that's a dead end. I speak from experience. And as always, folks, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all tomorrow as we continue on in What Would Fix Christianity. We'll see you all then.
It's time to take a step.